ASCII code for the tab character? Want to be able to input tabs into a web page text box. As I'm sure that pretty much everyone on here is aware that tab key when used on a web page simply jumps to the next element on the page, whether it be a checkbox, radio selector, button, another text box, a link, etc. What I'm hoping to do is enable me to use the tab key while typing something up in an input form and actually have it insert the tab character into the form I'm filling out. I'm pretty anal retentive when it comes to how my text documents are formatted, especially when it comes to writing articles for my site. Hell, I'm even anal about how my to-do lists look when I type them up in good old-fashioned Notepad. Yep, I use good old-fashioned Notepad to write up my article ideas, to-do lists, save little snippets of useful code that I find, etc. I realize that there are JavaScript solutions or properties you can set for that particular text box, depending on what language you happen to be programming the site in, that you can use to manually program the input fields on your web page to allow this, but I am more interested in allowing the web browser to behave in its normal fashion, as I do use the tab key to switch between page elements, also especially when filling out long applications and forms in order to navigate between them. Far more quickly than having to use my mouse to click on each field that I want to fill out. So, what I'm hoping to find is the Windows ASCII key combo, or like using Alt+0169 in order to produce the copyright symbol character, that I can enter in order to insert the tab into the web page text box that way. As I use ASCII key combos routinely to make weird-ass symbols in my write-ups all the time, I am quite used to doing things this way. Besides, once done typing up something in a text box, I'd still like to have the ability to tab over to the next element. When programming forms myself for whatever project I happen to be working on, I always go out of my way to order the elements in such a way that tabbing through them is as intuitive as possible. Who knows how many of you are like me, but I am always bothered when I'm filling out a set of address fields, and when you cycle through them they jump around randomly based on whatever order the programmer of that page created them in. Example: you're typing in your name in the first field on a page that has a form that hasn't been properly set up. I am always annoyed when I press tab, and then it suddenly jumps to the city name, followed by the address line 2, then to the zip code, etc. You get the idea. As far as I know, everyone likes to input that information in the order in which you'd handwrite an address on an envelope. Name first, followed by address lines 1 and 2, then the city, state, zip, and finally, if necessary, the country, assuming that it's required. Now that I've explained what I'm trying to do ad nauseum, what is the ASCII key code for tab?
Hope this helps you. You have quite a long question, smiley face. Wikipedia tab key. Several tab characters are included as ASCII control characters used for text alignment. The most known and common tab is a horizontal tab, HT, which in ASCII has the decimal character code of 9 and may be referred to as Ctrl+I or *I. A vertical tab, VT, also exists and has ASCII decimal character code 11, Ctrl+K or *K. The ABCD code for HT is 5. The VT is 11 or hex 0B, the same as ASCII. The horizontal tab is usually generated by the tab key on a standard keyboard. But do read the rest of the article.
The code is Alt+009. However, I don't think it will accomplish what you are after.
Didn't read most of your post, sorry. But just fixing on the final little question: what is the ASCII key code for tab? ASCII value for tab is 9, decimal or hex, so try Alt+, numpad 0, numpad 9. But, I've just tested doing so in this very edit box and it doesn't work, but it does in Notepad, MS Word, etc. I wonder why. Anyway, if you really need a tab somewhere odd, try copying one from Notepad and pasting it where you need it. That's what I tend to do. Edit. If you're doing this for it to be displayed on a website, which is what I think you're implying, a tab character may be ignored because HTML tends to ignore white space, outside of pre-blocks, etc. If it is HTML, you could also use the HTML entity version as well, but this will function in the same way.
The ASCII code for tab is 09. Pressing Alt+09 in an online form might not provide you tab character, probably because of the browser, but works in some other software applications like Notepad, WordPad, Garena, etc. If you are scripting your own HTML page and if you need to give HTML tab, then you could provide this using tables, CSS, DD tags. Here, have a look here, this URL. And Harry is right, if you're coding JavaScript then you could use \t.
If you want to support the channel, Please consider liking and subscribing.